Hi everyone and welcome back to another episode of Dance Studio, where we bring you the latest news in a short and informative format, and of course in the comfort of a studio. Now, in order to comply with the government's wishes, we here at Dance Studios have decided to self-isolate and to work from home, which is why, as everybody can see, we haven't been in a studio for a very long time, but I've still been filming in my living room. Ladies and gentlemen, do you remember in the last few videos how I said that life here in the state of Victoria could not get any worse than it already is? Huh? Oh, I didn't say that? No, didn't say that? Wasn't in the script? Okay, didn't say, sorry. Well, life here in Victoria could not get any worse. Because just a few days ago, in fact just a few nights ago, because of the increases of positive coronavirus cases here in Victoria, the state of New South Wales, which is home to Sydney, has now completely shut its doors on Victoria and closed its borders. Well, that's just great, because now I can't travel interstate anymore because of some stupid mother...
The scale of the chaos caused by the COVID pandemic can't be overstated. Our leaders today making the monumental decision to close our border with Victoria, something that hasn't happened in 100 years. Tonight, a military-scale operation is underway to seal off all crossings after an explosion of coronavirus cases in Melbourne.
A soaring number of cases, and not just in these towers. Melbourne is locking down, and New South Wales has no choice but to lock Victorians out.
We wouldn't have taken this step unless we absolutely had to.
For the first time in a century, the New South Wales-Victoria border is closing.
All of the cases that the Premier Andrews announced today are from community transmission. This is unprecedented in Australia. That's why the decision of the New South Wales government is unprecedented.
While all travel across the border will be banned from midnight tomorrow, from midnight tonight, you cannot enter New South Wales from Melbourne at all. The entire city now deemed a hotspot.
Come midnight tonight, for the next 24 hours, the hotspots will extend to all of Melbourne, so nobody from Melbourne will be able to cross the border in the next 24 hours. But come midnight tomorrow night, it'll be all Victoria.
No, I'm just kidding, totally kidding. I'm actually not that mad about this whole situation. It was definitely the right choice and a smart decision from the New South Wales Premier to decide to close the border to us because, you know, seeing as they're on the border with our state, and that the fact we currently have more than 500 active cases. Excuse me. Now, previously during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, New South Wales and Victoria were the only two states who allowed the border between the two states to remain open, which I guess was fair because quite a lot of people have to travel between the two states, especially between Melbourne and Sydney. But I guess that will no longer be the case with Victoria recording... Hang on, let me check that again. That can't be right. Victoria recorded 127 new cases of coronavirus on Monday after an increase of 182 cases over the weekend. Oh, come on, man. Come on. The Victoria Premier, Dan Andrews, understands that there are people who need to travel between the two states, so he says that a permit system will be made available for the people that need to travel between the two states, and a system will be set up to assist those who live in the border towns. Now, I'm glad to see some sort of initiative here. I understand that Victoria right now is a hotspot for the coronavirus, so it's good to see that the government is making a decision that actually makes some sort of sense. Now it's time for the rest of Victoria to just get their shit together. Now, I know the situation here in Victoria is slowly getting worse. We're seeing every single day, we're seeing more than 100 of positive coronavirus cases coming in. Pretty much almost every single day, if not over the span of 2 to 3 days, we will see a rise of 100 and something positive cases. So, you know, it's getting pretty serious down here. So I just want to continue to reiterate that the coronavirus is very serious. It's still here. It hasn't left. It's not gone. You know, we should continue to be listening to what the government is asking us. Social distancing continues to prove the best weapon against the virus. You know, what the government decides may seem to be rather unfair to a lot of people, especially those people who are affected heavily about the new lockdown restrictions and all of that. But you have to be understanding that life is going to be tough during this period, because we want to, have some sort of future that we can go into and not have everyone living in a plague and dying. Now, we have to remember to always avoid crowded areas. Definitely avoid crowded areas. Maintain a good level of hygiene. Always remember to wash your hands. Sanitize your hands. I cannot say how important it is to sanitize and clean your hands. Wear a face mask. I'm not saying if you need to anymore, because the situation is so much worse. I'm saying everybody should be wearing a face mask, no matter if you're sick or not, just to prevent any kind of spread. Now, please remember to subscribe, punch that like button, and share our content, as we know it is a tough time for everyone here. It's hard to go outside. It's hard to meet people and get entertainment from any sort of venue. So here at Dance Studios, we want to continue to provide everyone with valuable information, as well as have some lighthearted content going along with this information, to see that not all things are bad, and we can get through this and, continue to live our lives. Yeah, I'm your host, Dan. I'll see you guys next time. Have a lovely week. Peace out.